Earlier today, university leaders wrote to inform our community that we are enacting new temporary restrictions effective tonight in response to a rise in COVID-19 cases. This rise in new cases is appearing on grounds and off grounds and is not confined to a particular residence hall or other residents. Our aggressive testing rolled out this semester has allowed us to more quickly identify cases, and contact tracing through the VDH continues to help us target outreach and follow-up through quarantine and isolation. In order to quickly reverse this spike in cases and protect the health and safety of the UVA community and our Charlottesville neighbors, we need to impose greater restrictions for a temporary period of time. All in-person events and gatherings, on and off grounds, are prohibited and should be moved online. See the email you received for more information on what constitutes a gathering. Now, on-ground students may leave their residence hall for essential activities, such as attending an in-person class, eating at a dining hall, picking up a meal, or other things identified in the email you received today. For off-ground students, you're encouraged to remain at home and limit contact with individuals outside your living arrangement. You may only come to grounds to attend class, eat at a dining hall, pick up food if you have a meal plan, take a COVID-19 test, or go to work at an on-grounds job. Recreational facilities will be closed throughout this period, and libraries will offer contactless pickup only. Dining facilities will remain open, and grab-and-go options will be available. In-person seating will be restricted, though, to no more than 2 people together. Research operations will continue, with any modifications determined by the Vice President for Research and the Provost. All instruction will continue to be either in-person, hybrid, or online for undergraduate as well as graduate and professional students. The rise in cases we're seeing is directly related to individual decisions to ignore, even for one night, or outright violate the university's health and safety protocols that we know can stop transmission of the virus. When people gather in numbers larger than mandated, remove their masks when they're around others, sit or stand too closely, or make other decisions to sidestep these protocols, the virus spreads. Large events are a particular risk, but transmission is also occurring when just a few people gather too closely together and forego a mask. We are seeing transmission in a variety of venues and a variety of ways. Now, fortunately, we all have agency in what happens next. A virus that spreads when people make the wrong decision can't spread as easily when people make the right one. If we spend the next 10 days making the right decisions, cases will fall as they did after the spike last September, when students redoubled their efforts at compliance. Once case counts go down, and this recent trend is reversed, our quarantine and isolation spaces will free up, and we will be able to lift these enhanced restrictions. Now, I recognize today is Mardi Gras, and tomorrow is a break day with no classes. However, I urge you not to use this as an excuse to violate these enhanced restrictions and make a bad situation worse. Those undergraduates who recently joined fraternities and sororities must immediately step back from any planned new member activities that cannot be conducted wholly online. Those of you who had planned even small events or gatherings with your clubs and friend groups must also cancel those plans or move them online until these enhanced restrictions are lifted. This includes activities for which an exception had been granted by the special committee for seeing those exceptions through. There can be no in-person gatherings during this enhanced restriction period. Now, I recognize this has been a difficult academic year, and you're tired, as the COVID marathon we've all been running is now a year old and still ongoing. If you're in need of help, the university offers resources to assist you. But frustration with the pandemic's impact on your college experience cannot be an excuse to endanger the health of other people. Last September, after a surge in cases required the university to enact new restrictions in order to keep people safe, you responded, and we got the spike in cases under control. This is another pivotal moment with even greater threats given new, more contagious variants of the virus. But we can reverse the virus's upward trend once again if we take the steps as individuals that will result in our community bending the curve and keeping each other healthy and safe. Now, we will aggressively enforce these enhanced restrictions, but our hope is that everyone will recognize the impact of their individual decisions and do the right thing. Thank you for making a difference.